right, hi everybody. How is it going today? I think I have a bit of a cold thing going on, so I might have a super sexy voice. I'm just warning you in advance. I take no responsibility for what happens. All right, today is a day. Hi, Kev. Kev's here. Yeah, hey Troy, hey Kev. I woke up with
Oh great,
thing.
it's
So,
Troy
oh,
Chiplin.
Carolina. Oh, Troy Chiplin. And then Kev XB is going to come in there and spill the tea. I got no tea to spill. You know what I know. Yeah. Hey, I didn't get the, hey, Kev's here. Oh, I guess you're not as VIP as I thought you were, Kev. This week has been interesting for me.
Oh great, it's Kev XB.
There we go. We have been in my little hometown here. We have been under a blanket of ice.
Oh great,
we got this crazy
it's
ice storm.
Carolina.
Oh, Carolina Pena is here too. Y'all are VIPs. That's why it's doing that. I've added you. Anyways, we had this like crazy ice storm, and like trees have fallen down, and like I've had friends who's had like trees fall on their cars, on their houses. Craziness. Hey Nish again, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out today. And so we just kind of got over that, and then we had a crazy storm again last night, and my daughter's school has no power. She's in high school, so they're okay. So if we might lose power, we lost power this morning, so who knows? If the stream just goes dead, it's because the power is off, not because I got fired. That was too soon, I think. We had a big earthquake. Oh no, really? Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, Kev, I saw that. Are you okay? Is you and all your fam's peeps good? That's crazy. I saw something there about a big skyscraper falling. I forgot about that. I should have reached out to you, my friend. I'm sorry. Glad you're good. I'm glad you're good. Assuming you're good. Anyways. Yeah. So anyways, if I lose power, I might lose power. Yeah, I bet, man. I bet. I saw this crazy video where there's like, it was like, it must have been like a security camera or something, but it was like there's people on, I don't know if it was on the skyscraper that fell, but on a one, and they were in like this infinity pool, and it just like, it was going crazy, and all the stuff, all like the floaties that they were on, like went over the side of the pool and everything. Like they weren't on them, they'd gotten out, but it looked pretty terrifying. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and yeah, that's good. Yeah, I saw the one of the skyscraper falling. It looked like maybe it was being built. I'm not sure, but drop links if you got it, Kev. Not to share anyone's pain or whatever, but pretty nuts. It was pretty crazy. So I'm glad you're good. I am glad you're good. I don't know what would happen. I don't know how I would react if something happened to my Kevin. Oh man. So yeah, crane video. Yeah, it was pretty nuts, man. That's pretty crazy stuff. Anyways, so there. How are you going to feel in 9 weeks? How am I going to feel in 9 weeks? What are you talking about? What's happening in 9 weeks? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? 9 weeks. What's happening in 9 weeks? Are you pregnant? What's going on? I realize that's months, not weeks, but it was a good joke. It was a mediocre joke. All right. Oh, hey, Carolina, I wanted to share this. I don't know if you were here last week, but I am hacking my own plugin a little bit. So what we're doing was trying to do like a user profile for the Block Developer Cookbook site. So I have this author archive, and what I'm doing is hacking my AQL plugin to pass it the IDs of the posts that I want to show. Where did I do this nearest? The recipes are right. yeah, so I'm encoding it and adding it to the include post. So what that's going to do is that pulls it from the user meta. I'm pretty proud of this little hack here. Because I mean, my AQL plugin supports being able to curate by post ID. So I'm just hacking that and adding it to the actual block insertion based on the current user, because I don't have a control for user meta. Like, so I can't query stuff by user meta, which may be something that I should add to the plugin. But in the meantime, I got this. Does that make sense? Have you done something this? Carolyn is like the block theme like guru ninja, like fullsiteediting.com is your site, which you just put. I thought I read something about a new is it .com? Yeah, you just launched a new theme, didn't you? This is it here. This is your site, right? This is the right site, isn't it? I think so. Oh, we haven't launched it. A new theme. Is this the one? This is your site? Yeah. Go check this out. Carolina is brilliant and awesome. Will I see you? I'm going to be at WordCamp Europe this year. Are you going to are you going to be there? Am I going to see you there? Yeah. This was like one of the first and best and earliest resources for full site editing and just, theme block theme stuff in general. So, okay, so it's not a new theme. So keep an eye out for the new theme. Yeah. Anyways, Carolyn is awesome. I hope I get to see you. I hope you're going to WordCamp Europe this year, and I hope I get to see you. You can make a block theme with React on the front end. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? Kev's asking this question. Spotlight message. He's asking, can you make a block theme with React on the front end and submit it to .org? I don't know about that. That part I don't know about. But think of it this way: the Interactivity API, actually makes little islands of Preact, really. So they're little React components that sit on the front end. So you can do that. But technically, there's no reason why you couldn't have like React sit there, right? And actually, there's actually a new filter that's coming out in 6.8, which I cannot remember where I found that. That exposes the menus to the REST API, so you'll actually be able to retrieve menus, which is pretty cool. Dumb question. Oh, Bad Dude Court is a dumb question. Really? No, just kidding. Random thought. And anything in the there's a what's the question? What's the dumb question? First of all, Bad Dude Court, there is no dumb questions. Just ask questions. I had a random thought. In editing a site with FSE, there is a mechanism to save edits into the theme JSON itself. No, there is not yet. What are you trying to do? To my knowledge, there is not. Because the theme JSON isn't really like a fluid. It's not really a fluid document. It's meant to be like the definition for the theme. Now you can override parts of it with like your style override. So like if in my theme that I have going on, we have let me show you. I've got like theme.json, which has got all the theme, but then there's also styles, which are like original, which are parts of the. So you can override parts of it. Making editing not terrible for the team. Make editing a theme is just not terrible for the. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Now I was working on a tool a long time ago that kind of built theme JSON out for you. I don't even know if I would have that here. It was a total hack, but it seemed to work a little bit. Do I have that? I don't know. I have to look and see if I still have that code. I might have gotten rid of it. It was a long time ago. Oh yeah, theme JSON builder. So the idea behind this thing, get that out of here, was that it would be. It's cached pretty heavily. Now I think if you're in development mode, it like you script debug on or whatever or true, I think it actually doesn't do it as much. But what I was doing was I had this thing where it would parse it and it would generate it out. So you'd have like your base, you'd have settings, and then if you modified these, this is obviously a huge hack. But what it would do is it would build this stuff out. Yeah. Anyways, this is probably not a good thing for me to show. Yeah, it was like, you know, I would scaffold. Anyways, whatever. So there's definitely tools that you can build, but that's just going to generate the theme JSON for you. Yeah. Development mode constant. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm just going to close this. That's so old, I don't even want to... Hey, the lap. How's it going? Oh, that'd be cool. Make editing and design. So like an interface, like a UI that you can pick colors, fonts, and so on and so forth, and that translates into a theme.json. That's pretty cool. Wait, hold on. Maybe, don't we have that? I think this is, yeah. Right? Isn't this what we're talking about here? Or parts of it here? This is really cool. I think there is some generator stuff in here. I mean, if you can crack that nut, I think that's really cool. That would be very cool. Being able to generate that stuff for a project would be super neat. Like some kind of like create theme JSON tool would be super cool. Be a lot of prompts though, unfortunately, I think. But anyway, oh man, whatever I have is not fun right now. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Don't need that on, and I certainly don't need that on or that. Yeah, okay, cool. So anyway, so where was I? So what was I doing here? All right, so the theme is JSON. I'm just going to close this. I'm trying to remember where I was. In functions. Oh, right. Okay, so I am hard coding the user meta at this point. That's the issue. Can I rant for a second? I'm starting to get super annoyed with cursor. I don't want to get all of this stuff added to me. Like, why is it doing that? Like, I already have that code. Why are you adding me more of the code, dummy? Anyways, I've gotten to the point where I'm like turning it off. Like, I'm not really wanting to use it. Why is this yelling? Oh, because I need a new one of these. Anyways, I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed with. I like cursor for this. Like, if I come in here and I'm like generate for me a something, then that's great. But I don't want it inline. I don't know how to turn that off, which would be kind of. What's this thing do? Cursor tab. Ooh, interesting. Cursor. Is that what this is? I'm going to disable globally. Ooh. Aha, that's how you do it. Yeah, I find it gets in my way. I don't know if I'm just like not vibey enough for it, but for me, like when I'm typing, when I'm writing code, I don't want the auto. I don't want the like when I'm doing this, right? If I can ever type properly, like you know, I like writing code like this. I don't want it all auto completed for me because for whatever reason, there's like I don't know in my brain. It throws me off. It takes me for a loop. Like what I'm writing is like in my head, and then I'm looking at what's being offered. And I'm like, what? You know, so it's screwing me up. That's so I think that's what this is. So turning this tab completion stuff off, but I still want to be able, like if I want to. Oh come on! If I want to come over here and actually ask it for something, I will. I don't like it. I mean, maybe if I'm writing in a language, I don't know. I'm probably going to be like, oh, not, you know, you'll talk to me next week and I'll be like, oh, man, this is the greatest thing in the world. Who turned this stupid thing off? And it would be, oh, you can't see what I'm doing here. So down here in the bottom, there's like this cursor tab option. So I just disabled it globally. Maybe snoozing is better. Go back to Copilot. I don't want to use Copilot. I like to be like, I need something, go get it for me, and I'd rather not vibe. I don't like vibe coding. I don't know what it is. People love it. If you love it, that's great, but I don't. So stop bugging me about it, Kevin. Oh, we got a question from YouTube's. What? Question is, how would you go about building a functionality of converting a blog article into a downloadable PDF? Kinsta has this and it's hella slick. Just not sure how to get started with this. Great show. Oh, DQI. Anyways, thank you, first of all, over on the YouTubes. You can do this. You can do this a couple of ways. Basically, it is a super funny meme, Kev. Yes, that's right. You can absolutely do this. I've done this in the past. You can take a page and you basically you want to change its MIME type to a PDF. That's the direction that you're going to want to take. Now there's some PHP libraries that can help with that. I don't know them off the top of my head, but that's the where you're going to want to go. So when you load the page, you're going to want to change the MIME type of the page being output to a PDF file, and that will sort of work. Yeah, but there's libraries and stuff there that do that. So anyways, for those watching in YouTube, if there's any watching in YouTube, we're also over on Twitch. That's where the majority of chat is. So if you see me responding to questions and you don't know where they're coming from, it's because they're coming from Twitch. So you're welcome to come on over here, or you're also welcome to hang out in YouTube. Yeah. What is this? I like watching others do it and see the different approaches and outcomes. Yeah. Yeah, I think Carolina, I kind of agree with you there. I think part of it is I have a very specific way my brain works when I'm writing out my code, and when I'm writing it, I get it kind of distracts me from it, and it's my own inability to ignore it. That's probably what it is. That's probably what the problem is. I also feel like it doesn't make me as efficient as maybe some people are saying it makes them. I think I like to know exactly what's going on with my code more. One thing that I don't like about the idea of vibe coding is that it's great for like proof of concepts, MVPs. This is my opinion. This is strictly my opinion, but it's great for that kind of stuff. But as soon as you build anything production ready with it, if you've ever built anything production ready, which I don't know anyone that has, and that's not to say there isn't, but I just don't know them. But like when you come back to modify that, like, or you need to add features or you need to address bugs, you're relying on the AI to parse your code and fix those bugs. And because no one actually wrote the code, like, you know, there's no one there that really probably truly fully understands the code, because a lot of it's just written for you, right? I just went through this where I was working in Cursor and I was trying to write a Chrome extension. I've been wanting to write this Chrome extension for a while that basically Vibe debug it. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't know if it always works. So here's my story, Kevin. You shut up for a second. I was trying to build this Chrome extension. So the concept of my Chrome extension is that when you're in your browser and you're in a WordPress site, one thing that I do like all the time is I come into the not there. Hold on. I'm just gonna set this up for you so you understand what I'm talking about. So I always come into the console, like almost every time I'm working on something. I'm just gonna clear this out. Not xClear, just clear, regular old clear. And I always access the WP Global, right? Because like mostly for this, for what's in the data object. I don't know if y'all can see that. But you know, if you know about that, cool. But what I wanted to have was an extension that basically would allow me, as I itch my ear, to inspect the contents of the object, but not only at that level, but like, so when I want to see selectors, for example, like if I go core, like I want to get all of the selectors that are available, right? So I wanted to build something that could access this and throw it into like an inspectable panel where you could say, okay, I want to see all the selectors from this store, and it lists them all. I want to see all the actions from this store, and it would list them. That's surprisingly hard to do. And so I asked Cursor to build me on a Chrome extension that would do that, and I got it into this like, could you? Yeah, of course you've got a solution. Could use user group with tamper monkey, and those are English words. That much I know. Kevin's like, do you want the code? Here it is. But anyways, so it went through all of these things, and I kept getting these errors. So I'd say, okay, so well, you've got this error, and it would get a little bit further, and it would get a little bit further, and then I just got into this circle of like it would fix one error, then the old error would pop up, it would fix that error, and then the other old error would pop up, and it kind of got into this like roundabout, and finally the code was so convoluted that it didn't make any sense to me at all, and I gave up. So that was my experience with just, I was like, I'm gonna vibe code this and see. Based on a while, go install Tamper Monkey. It lets you write a JS script on every page based on wildcard pattern. Okay, so Tamper Monkey is a Tamper Monkey. This is this extension. Okay, so it's an extension. Cool. So I install that, and then I can do that. The thing about it is, though, I wanted to have I wanted it to be completely packaged, so people don't need to worry about doing any of this. But I mean, I'll look into it. It's just it got to a point. I got to a point where it would list some of the stuff, but then it wouldn't. I couldn't get the actual store because the problem is the store populates that, and it just wasn't loading at the right time. So it just got into like this whole roundabout thing, and it just my prompts were off. Anyways, all right, Kev. Well, I'm gonna go check that out. I'm gonna check that out. What is this? What is this? Extension.js. New browser. Leave it to Kevin to solve my problem with 2 clicks. Cool. I will check that out. Thanks, Kev. You're the best, Kev. You're the best, Kev. Oh, he's gonna just stop showing up here because I'm just mean to him. I'm just mean to him. Anyways, all right. Let's get what we were actually gonna do today. Let's get to that. Hemorrhaging viewers, watch me make fun of Kevin. Okay, so let's look. You have to go in 3 minutes, Kevin. Well, thanks for coming by, man. Thanks for braving the earthquake. I'm glad you're okay. I really am. I'm genuinely. Yeah. I'm glad you're good. Anyhow, so I'll see you next year in Q2 meeting time. Oh, you have to go justify your existence. Oh, tell him I said that you need a raise. You can clip this and send it to them. Kevin needs a raise. Kevin. Cool. All right, so let's get into this. This your last stream ever? Forever? Yeah, this is my last stream. This is it. No, this is not my last stream. Why would it be on my last stream? God. Kevin, you're fishing. You're fishing for stuff. I have second Kevin's rants. There we go. See? G Porter 43. Read the news today. Career-ending jokes. What news? What news? What happened? Kevin, drop links, man. Are you talking about the news from yesterday? Kevin's in the future, so maybe he knows something that we don't. Career-ending jokes. Oh, what? Oh, God. What happened? Anyways, okay. Yesterday is my birthday. Kevin, I didn't know you were 50. I don't know how old Kevin is, but happy birthday, Kev. Happy birthday to you. Kevin! Happy birthday to you. Kevin! That's right. I'm not singing anymore. Happy birthday, dear. Happy birthday to... Kevin!
I am madly in love with you.
I just wrote a song with my OBS stuff, guys. Deuce. Awesome, Kev. Awesome. That was fantastic. That, ladies and gentlemen, that may have been my favorite streaming moment of all time. That might have been it right there. Thank you for that. This can be my last stream because I don't think we're ever going to top that. That was amazing. All All right, Kevin, get out of here. Go do birthday stuff or not or whatever. I don't know. Maybe you didn't read yesterday's news until today. All right. Cool. I'll see you next week, Kevin. I'll be streaming. Anyhow, all right, let's get into some code here. So what do I have to do? So I think, so we left this off where basically the user meta is being pulled in. So if I go to a, what am I doing here? If I go to my users, I go to all my users and I go view this user page, it's pulling in these things. Now this is all hard coded, or is it all? No, it's not. Is it hard coded? I can't remember. No, it's not. Okay, so I'm pulling in the current user. So if the current user has stuff, it's going to show stuff, right? So I think what I did was I think this user I think is user 1. But let's look here. So if we go here, we should. Ooh. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh no, that is what I want. Sorry, I was thinking I had an error in my logic here because the user meta is going to be. This page is really going to only be seen by the logged in user. That's the plan anyways. So this makes sense because I'm logged in as this admin account. If I would have to switch to this test account and then view my profile. What? Huh? What is this? Huh, that's weird that that's showing up there. So, undefined array, post type in block library, post author name, PHP. So this shouldn't, okay, so there's some things that I have to figure out here first. So I'm gonna drop some debug action in here. So we're gonna debug this. So what should happen here is this, I should get nothing. So I think what I need to do is see what user recipes is. It's empty. I don't have any user recipes. So, I think what I need to do here is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my code ever so slightly. So what I think I should do, I should have my users array defined up here. And then I'm going to say if user recipes, if we have user recipes, then I want to run this code. Otherwise, I just want, nope, that's what I want. So the idea now is that I'm using logic. If we have user recipes, meaning there's stuff on the meta, then we're gonna populate the recipes array. Otherwise, it's just gonna pass an empty array. So if I refresh this now, that didn't change anything. Why did that not change anything? I wonder why. Oh, I wonder if it's because I'm passing an empty array to include post, so it's actually getting the it's just pulling the recipe post type. I guess that's the problem here with what's not gonna show it. Ooh. What? Invalid numeric literal. Okay, so that's something I have to figure out. So there's definitely a bit of a bug there. So maybe what I actually need is to not show like, where's the query no results? Okay. So I think what I can probably do here is do if, no. if recipes array count. almost had a really awkward typo there. You guys see that? Woo! It's greater than 0, right? We're gonna do that, and then down here we're gonna go. Let's say PHP else, and then PHP end if. Man, I haven't written these shorthand logic stuff in a while. And then we're gonna I'm just gonna do a paragraph tag, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say, I actually don't need that, and it's gonna be content. It's gonna say, what's it gonna say? What's it gonna say? It's gonna say, you have no saved recipes. I have become obsessed with Matt Berry recently. So if I just yell thank you at the top of my lungs, that's why. Just so you know. Just so you know. Oh, well, that's because I think we have to do this. Right? I don't think I need that in there. Right? I think I just do that, don't I? We have no save recipes. None. That's not really all that great though. I probably need to. I'm gonna need to style that, and this could actually be a header tag. I'm gonna make this a header. Heading, right? And we're gonna say it's gonna be level, and we're gonna set that to 2. This should give it. This should make it an H2, and I think I have to change that to that. And let's see. Perfect. Oh, H2. Am I just? There we go. There we go. This is ugly. It's ugly, but we can fix that. You know, we can fix ugly. Or, you know, some of us are born that way. I'm not a nice person. All right, cool. So, all right, that's fixing the problem when we are like switch back to admin, and then if I go what is it, admin? So this is actually showing the stuff. So that's cool. What is this? Oh, I'm gonna do that. That's better. I don't know if this is a nice way of doing it. This markup is actually fairly ugly, so I need to figure that out a little bit. Like this no results thing is kind of crazy. Anyway, but what I want to look at is I want to be able to go to the recipes page, and I want to add a button in here and have this button added to the user meta. So to do that, we have a couple of things I have to set up. So we have this vote button, and so the vote button. Should we just do a separate block? I guess that's the question, because when I'm in a conference, for example, and I go to another conference and I want to vote, this looks horrible. I can do so by clicking the button. It adds a little thing up here, right? And then I can remove that recipe. But this is specifically for voting on this, so it's its own endpoint and everything. So I'm wondering if maybe we should have a different button. That is not a vote button, but like a add recipe button. I mean, it's functionally the same thing, but there's a bunch of extra stuff going on here. Like I've got a store that I'm setting up, and this adds a bunch of other. This adds a bunch of other logic. Like one of the things it does is it affects this store. So if I remove this, you can see the number changes. Right, it adds the time to the allowed source. So I don't want to mess with that too much. So I'm wondering if I just need something a bit simpler. And maybe that's just the simplest way of doing it is just by having a button that gets rendered, but only if the user's logged in. So what do you think? What do we think here? I need some feedback from the group. Man, Kevin leaves and no one's talking. What's going on? What's up? Oh, there's a really fantastic chat name in my I can see, and not to call you out, but Unruly Hot Fixer. I think that's a fantastic name. Mario Santos. Mario, Are you in here? Say hi, Mario. You can't come to my stream and not say hi. Come on now. What's up, Lup? Okay, I'm gonna just do a new block. I'm just gonna do a new block. So I'm just gonna copy this block. Uh-oh. Did I just quit that? Where'd that go? No. All right, I'm gonna copy this block, and I'm going to call it add recipe. Add recipe. Add. What block am I? User recipe. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna have to change a bunch of this stuff. So I don't know if I want it to be interactive or not. I could do it as interactive. It'll be fairly straightforward, I think. The block. Well, thank you, the love. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. That's pretty awesome. Okay, let's get into this. All right, so so I think what we need to do is in the author. Now let's. What? No, not in there. Yeah, in there. No, sorry. It's the template, the pattern. Patterns. We've got user recipes. Nope, not there. So where am I doing this? I gotta think this through. So the recipes 3 up. That's where I want it to be. So conference. Where's conference vote? The voting loop. Okay, so conference voting loop is. I just need to find the block. Cooking time. Vote button. So block group. Vote button. Group flex justify content. So where is this going? Okay, so this is the vote button, but it's in a group. So I'm just gonna steal the group right there, and I'm gonna jump over to not user recipes. It's gonna be the recipes 3 up. That's what it is. Now the problem is I gotta figure out where this goes in when it goes into the voting loop. So this is there's a group, and a post template. There's a group and a post template. Oh, I think it goes there. Right? Let's look. Oh no, I think it goes in Yeah, I think that's right. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so let's go into the recipes list. So we're going here. What? Okay. Sometimes I have to. This bugs me, but sometimes I think you have to do this. You have to come over here and do all that stuff. So recipes, let's go in there. Nope, I don't have. Is this the right template? That's the recipe overview. Maybe what I should do is edit this. Oh, what's this? Oh yeah, okay. No, it's there. It's definitely there. I don't know why that got weird though. Let's go into the code editor. I'm going to grab this whole thing and I'm going to go into templates and it's going to be recipes. Where's archive recipe? Oh, I don't need to do that. So the 3 up pack. Okay, so sorry. Stand by. So this is everything I want. Like that. We're gonna grab that, and because this is pulling it, right here, and that should be, yeah. So I'm gonna grab all this and delete it. Do that. Save it. Hopefully, with a little luck, everything's good. Delete. Okay. No. Why is it not? Why is it not showing that? Edit site. Edit site. Okay. What? Super annoying. Okay. Let's get into my terminal, and then BDC site. I should have a package JSON. I should have a, okay, so npm run start block. Oops. Run start. Let me get my blocks building here. What? Oh, sorry. Themes chef kiss. Let's try that again. We're gonna run the start blocks. That should run blocks. And is it running? It is running. We'll hide this. Okay, so now the blocks are running. So I'm gonna make some changes to this. This is not gonna be that. This is gonna be add user recipe. Add user recipe. Sure, view module. Oh, that should actually be a different thing now, right? It's a view script module. That's what that should be now. That changed the latest version, so we'll update that. We'll update that fun stuff, and then okay. So in the edit, I'm going to say add this recipe to I don't know, whatever. Save this recipe. Save this recipe. And then I have to come into recipes 3 up, and I have to find vote button. It's not vote button anymore, right? It's not vote button user. Man, get out of here. What did I just call this thing? That's what I need. Okay, so, and then I go here, right? So that should give me that. Refresh this. Save this recipe. Sweet. Okay, so that's there. It's still not showing in the front end. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me, because I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Post exit was just not showing up, and I don't know why it's not showing up. Maybe there's something in the view script that is. Let's look. Am I seeing any? I'm not seeing any console errors. Okay, I'm just gonna maybe activate this theme, and I'm gonna switch back over to here. So recipe should give me something that's, yeah, okay. Now I switch back over to there, and then I go to recipes, and this. Okay. Does anyone have any idea why that wouldn't be there? It should be there, right? It should be. It should be there. No, it's not there. That's the exit. So it's just not rendering yet. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. That's really annoying. Okay. Well, that's really annoying. Okay, so let's. Okay. Well, I mean, this is working. Oh, the render. Let's look. Let's work. Look. Maybe. This is probably why. This is probably why. So I'm gonna just get rid of all of this for now because I don't think I need any of that stuff. Yeah, because there's no text because I'm an idiot. Okay. Save this. This is why. This recipe. All right. I'm gonna get rid of all of my. This is just gonna be a button for now. I don't think I need. I'm just gonna get rid of all this stuff for now. I don't need that right now. So I think this is probably gonna fix the problem. No, didn't fix the problem. Didn't fix the problem. Why didn't it fix the problem? Just not seeing it. Okay. Let's check on some things here. What's in here? Tobias Dirksen, how's it going? Thank you for saying hey. The problem is I'm not seeing my button here. This is not rendering at all. It should be rendering right in here because it's part of this template. So let me just refresh this and see if maybe there's something else going on here. So this button is being rendered here. This is correct. And it should also be getting rendered in the front end, but it's not. And I don't know if it's caching related or what the heck is going on. But it's super frustrating. Let's see what happens if I just do this. Yeah, it should. Render.php, it's right there. Let's see, let's make sure the... Oh wait, hold on. Where's my build? My build's right there. So add user recipe, block JSON, add user recipe, render. That's weird. So if I go back to my blocks, user recipe, right? There's line 15. What about line 15? Shouldn't matter, but we can do that. I don't think that... Oh, maybe that is it. Maybe that is it. Is that it? No. Like it's not even outputting. Like let's see. I have a feeling this isn't. So I'm just gonna die test. No, that's gonna fail because I need that. Right. So this isn't even being loaded. This isn't even being loaded. So there's something funky fresh going on here. Let's look. So okay. So in the block JSON, I'm referring to render.php. Right. Add user recipe. Add user recipe. Should be. Text away is not right, but that shouldn't really matter. I'll just change the text away just in case, but that really shouldn't matter. Let me just try building again. I don't know why that wouldn't. This has got a view script, VJS. It's got all of this stuff. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of this stuff just for now. I'm wondering if maybe there's a problem, like if that's my store is actually causing issues here. So we're gonna just go down to the most basic store we can possibly get. We don't need that. We don't even need this right now. This is like the most basic store that you can do. So the front end is still ain't loading. Like, okay, let me just try something here. So let's add user recipe. If I let's just add a whatever test. All right, I save this. I come over here. I think so. This should be the recipes archive. That's probably what it is. I'm probably not looking at the right. I'm probably not looking at the right thing. But this. So if I go to templates, this should be the. Oh God, am I looking at the wrong one? They're editing this. I'm such a dope. That's probably what it was. Let's look here. So this isn't right. So what is this one pulling in? Okay, let's look. Code editor. So recipe archive should be pulling in archive recipe. It's right here. Recipes 3 up. That should be pulling in this pattern. This recipes 3 up is the one that I want. It's got the user recipe. I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna come over here. Why? What? Oh, sorry. So the recipe archive should have that in there because it's part of this. So the pattern is here, recipes 3 up, which is right here. That includes this. So why is that not being updated? Maybe I have changes. Hold on. Just hold on. What is this? Okay. I think it's gonna reset it. Yes. There it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. So for whatever reason I had saved, so what was happening there was I had made changes to my theme files correctly, right? Yeah. Hey. I had correctly made changes to my theme files. So my archive template, recipe archive, has 2 template parts. It's got the header and the footer, which is stored in the parts directory, blah, blah, blah. Then I have a pattern, and that's pulling in the actual loop, right? And so that my pattern is here. It's called Chef Kiss Recipes 3 Up. It's right here. Chef Kiss Recipes 3 Up. This was correct, but because at some point I had clearly made changes in line, like made changes in the browser, and then saved it, it wasn't getting those updates. So that's what was happening here. That is exactly what was happening here. So, okay. So that looks a little better. Okay. And if I edit this now, I should have something going on here. There we go. Okay, so I don't need any of that. So I'm going to go ahead and in the edit, nope. I don't even know where I made those changes. So let's go to render. So we get rid of this. That's good times. Jeez, man, we'll get there. Oy. Okay, and then the 3 up. I added something somewhere, didn't I? Or didn't I added test somewhere. What template am I editing here? Index. Because index uses. I think this thing is. No, it's not. I added it in here, so that's why it's showing up. So on the front end, I added it in the block. Not there. Where am I? Oh my god, what am I doing? On the front end, I added it in the block. So let's save this recipe. It's a ridiculous button. It's a ridiculous button. But what we want to do now is we're going to connect all the dots here. So let's make it its own little. Let's make this an interactive block. So we've already said we want interactivity. We've got that going on here. We use this context. Post ID query ID. Is there a user ID? That would be unfreaking believable. I don't know if there is though. So get context. I don't know if context is the context I'm thinking of. Let's look. So in my view, we have get context. So I'm pulling, where am I getting? Recipe IDs, get context. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I wanna do some testing. So in here, what we have to add, I'm just gonna compare it against the old one. We have to say interactivity. We have to add, we don't need the namespace anymore. This stuff's kind of old. I should update this. But this add user recipe, what we're gonna do is, yeah, okay. So first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure all of our props, all of our properties to make the block work are good. So, and then I think all we have to do is this now. I'm going to give it its own store. We're going to call this user recipes. Is that all we have to do? I'll tell you in a second. No, sorry. So there's, I can't remember what the thing is here. So we go into plugins. We look at the where is it? Dark light mode. We're gonna go render. Yeah, okay, so we just need to add the name of the store. It used to be that this had to be an object, like in a previous iteration of the Interactivity API, so it was an object and the store was a name, name of the store. Now it's just the name of the store. So in here, the first thing we're gonna have to do is also change the name of this, not that. This is gonna be, I can't remember, I already can't remember what I called it. So I'm just gonna get it over here. So user recipes, and then we wanna make sure that this store matches this store. So then it's not going to be confused with the other store, right? Okay, and then so we have that. So then we have add some context. We'll probably need the context. So I am going to add the majority of this stuff just for now. So this is not good. This is going to be user recipes. So probably one of the most important things is that to make sure you actually have all your stores named properly, right? And so this is actually not going to be this. It's going to be saved. I'm not going to hard code this. I'm going to add this as part of my state, right? Oh, we're just coming out with it. No, I did not get impacted by the layoffs that were announced yesterday. Unfortunately, some of my colleagues and friends were, and I'm sad to see them go, and I wish them the best. It's a bummer. It is a bummer. Thank you for your concern, though. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. And so here, okay, so then text. So we're going to say, we're going to take the button text down here. We're going to add this. I'm going to replace this just with this attribute. We're going to actually just get rid of that. So what this is going to do is this is going to look at the state and get the button CTA. And that's going to be save this recipe. So hopefully that should work. And nope, didn't work. So why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? I gotta compare it to this. Get button CTA. Oh, because I need to add state. Okay, so that's why. So in our state object, we're gonna add this. We're gonna say what is that? Oh, what have I done? What have I done? We're gonna need this. Get the whole button CTA thing. We're gonna replace the whole button CTA. So this is a JavaScript getter function, and so when you actually call the state.button.cta, it's actually looking into this store and it's saying state button CTA. So what this is returning is add CTA, remove CTA, is vote loading, saving CTA. So these are all things that are in the context that have been passed in this block. Over here, you see we have this context thing. We've got add, remove, saving, user, which is apparently already in there. Is vote loading false? There's a bunch of things in here that we need to add. So I'm just gonna maybe modify some of this stuff. I don't need this. This is not something that we need for this particular one. The recipe ID, we are gonna need the recipe ID for that. We're gonna need maybe save recipe and okay, so that's all pretty cool. So now in here, this is gonna get add CTA, remove CTA, is vote loading, CTA, all this stuff, and it's gonna figure this out. If it is loading, which it never will be, we're gonna get remove or add. So hopefully in our store, in our here, we can say save recipe and remove recipe. So I'm hoping I refresh this, and it's still not working. Still not working. Why is it not working? Let's inspect here. No console errors. Let's look at this. Inspect. Button CTA. State that button CTA. I wonder. Oh, I think I know why. I think I know why. Because I'm not adding the context. So I have this context, but I'm not actually using it. So I have to add the context to this particular block. So this directive says this has a store and this is the name. This adds context to this particular block, and anything inside of it will inherit that context. So this is now going to get all of this stuff available to it. I'm hoping that that's going to fix it. It did. So what happened there was the context, I didn't have access to any of this information, so I didn't know what to output. But now you can see we have this, and I think if I click on that, it's going to do nothing. But so let's get that happening. If we look at the old view, we had state, we have is selected. We don't really need that right now. So we have this vote button, this vote thing, callbacks is added. Okay, so we're going to look at, let's look at how I did it here. I can't remember. So we have this, so there's a watch, a knit, that we don't really need to worry about right now. We're going to take these two items and we're going to add those. So what this is going to do is, I've started liking to do it this way so you can see these things a little bit better. I'm just going to do that. So we have this on click, so we need an actions dot add. Right, so we're going to do this add thing. So in here, we need actions, so we're going to do a function called add. It's going to be a function. Looks like that. Right? Let's just see what this was. So we get this vote. So it's an async function, but we're going to do that. So, state dot is selected. So where is it selected coming from? Where's state.recipe selected.includes? Where is that coming from? I can't remember. state.assigned, it box equals number time, and then state.selected recipes.push. Oh, I think that's being managed other places. That's okay, so I think that's actually being managed in a different block because the time remaining, I think, is where that's being handled. So somewheres. Selected recipes, yeah. Okay, so what I was doing there was I was using this other block to manage the sort of the state of all that, but I think I'm gonna switch that to something else. So basically, in the user recipes, we're gonna have state, and what we need to pull is we're gonna need to get all of the current user recipes. So that's the name of the store. This is some of the initial state. Right. So I guess I'm not sure where to put it though. That's the thing. Because basically what we need to get is in our I'm just gonna close some of these. In where did I do it? In functions? I think I did it in here. Did I do it in here? Yeah. So we're gonna basically need to get the get user meta that I'm using, not there, in patterns, in user recipes. I'm gonna need to get this information right here. Get user meta, current user ID, and all that stuff. So we need to pass that probably into user recipes. We'll do the thing like that, and then we're gonna pass it like this. Right, so that's going to be available to us in that store. That's not what I need. Okay, do that. So we should have user recipes available to us. I think that's going to give me. I think that should do what I want it to do. What I'm hoping here is this returns null, then I should just return an empty array there. Okay, so the question in my brain right now is, should this be part of state or should this be part of context? I think I know the answer. So the state is global. So all instances of this particular block are going to get state. But context is specific to this instance because we have, for every recipe that's being shown on the front end eventually, each one of these will get the button CTA and they'll get the user recipes. Whereas the context is only referred to this particular instance, if that makes sense, right? So because because this store accesses all this, which is actually what we want, because we want to make sure we have a global reference to all the user recipes. Because as we add these user recipes, we want to make sure that every other block knows about it. Right? Because if a new thing gets added or whatever. So I think this is the right approach here. So what I want to do is, there was a function in here that it's not that one. What am I doing? Not that one. The vote button. There was a, is disabled or is selected, I should say. Right? So I'm just going to steal that. I'm going to put it in my add user recipe because one thing that is happening here, and that's not the name of the thing yet, but let me just pull that out of the store. So this is going to be user recipes. So we go state.user recipes includes recipe ID, which we're getting from here, block context post ID. Again, this is context because each one of these recipe IDs is going to be different. And so what should happen is anything that's in that list should be disabled. Oh, I broke it. I broke something. Hold on, stand by. So what should happen is everything should break. Why is that breaking? Okay, so user recipes is what's happening. Oh, why am I'm not even getting console errors. Getting an error here though. What's this? PHP undefined current user. Oh, because I'm an idiot. Because I am an idiot. Hold on. That's because, and I know exactly why that is. We're going to go to user recipes, and I need to get the current user before I can call current user. That's what I needed to do. So I need to call it, I'll just, whatever I'll call it here. So we got the, we get the current user, that's going to do that. So that's the thing. It shouldn't, oops. Okay. Okay. Context.disabled. Context dot disabled. I don't think I'm generating the context dot disabled. Where is that being added? What the hell is that? Disabled. Did I get rid of that? No. Context. That's weird. Let's see what is it showing. What I have in here. Man, I haven't struggled this much since last week. User ID is 1. State. I need that. I'm not actually using that for anything. Why did that break? Why adding that? Why when I added that, did that break? Oh, come on. State.user recipes includes recipe ID. Okay, so I'm just gonna, what's the state right now? Proxy object. Oh, right. Where's the, I have a thing for that. Where's the interactive gallery? Gallery slider, source, view. I have this little fun function down here that a certain guy by the name of Kevin gave me. I'm just gonna do that. So it actually proxies what I wanted to proxy. So there's no state in there. What? Zero's 1. Disabled is false. So for whatever reason, something in here is breaking this. Okay, I don't think I need this. Oh wait, no, sorry. That okay, so is selected. Let's just return true here. See if that. Okay, so that works. Okay, but for some reason, I don't have access to the state. Or for some reason, I don't have access to this. I don't know why this is. Let me look what I did at this other block. So this is very confusing to me. So in render, we've got selected recipes. Okay, cool. Selected recipes, and then in my view, I should be accessing somewhere. I should have access to that. I should have user recipes available. You know what? I'm going to do this a different way. I'm going to say recipes. I have a feeling it's something that's not. It's not really what it's supposed to be doing. I'm going to say. I think this is some weird thing. Basically, I want to say if not empty. Recipes, then I want to return recipes. Otherwise, I can just return an empty array and have everything stop yelling at me. You know, is it? Oh, that's not enough. I'm going to also just do this because I think I can probably debug this in about a second. And we'll see what the problem is. That didn't work. Oh, because I didn't actually turn a breakpoint on. So let's go back here and debug. Just want to see what this is returning. Still not. Oh, Xdebug actually running. Sorry. Let's try that again. Okay. I don't know why this isn't debugging all of a sudden. Okay, so user recipe. What was I doing in here? I need to go console. I need to go, was it debug log? I'm gonna go state. All right. I'm very confused as to what is happening here. I'm getting all the information there, but I'm not getting any of the stuff at a state. Am I adding this in the wrong place? Like calling this wrong? It's not even duration assigned in conference, right? So what is this? This is so weird. Okay, so in time remaining. Okay. You know why? Because remember earlier I said you got to make sure all the stupid names of the stores match? That's why. Ugh. I had recipe, not recipes. I bet now if I do this, I'll see the state. No, still don't see the state. I still don't see the state. The actual hell is going on here. I'd use a recipe. Okay, so that's in there now. Oh my God. Okay. See, you know, when you're not good at this stuff, this is what happens. This is 100% what happens. And all I need to do now is just add this. That's it. That's all I have to do. So I want to get the context, add the recipe, and then I want to change, make sure, is that in there? And if it is in there, we're going to return it. We're just going to say, we're going to return, does my current list include the, does the recipe list include the current list? And if it does, then it's going to return true. And then based on this, we're going to say remove CTA or add CTA, right? So we should see, I hope, there we go. There we go. So you see we've got this remove recipe because if I look at my recipes, if I look in the users and I go to my list of recipes and I go to, I don't know which one was it. Was it this one? Was it this one? I don't know. So Terrence is okay as well. I heart Kevin and simple fade in effect. So if we go back to the recipes, we should have simple fade in effect. Yup. I heart Kevin. Yup. And then we have Terrence is okay, which is not true, but I don't think he's here to defend himself. So I'm not gonna say talk too much crap about him. I don't know why that's there. Anyways, okay, so that's the logic around displaying it. So this doesn't do anything else than that, right? So in the render, I'm now realizing we actually don't, this is the add user recipe, right? We don't actually need the disabled button because we're never going to disable that. The reason I had disabled on it was because when we ran, if I can ever get back to the page, when we run out of time in the conference, I want to make sure people can't still vote, right? So, okay. So now we have this thing that we want to add it, right? Or we want to not necessarily add it. We're going to, so it's not add, it's going to be like update it's going to be change saved status. That's what it's going to do because we want to either save it or we want to not vote. We want to save it or we want to get rid of it. So in our actions, we're going to have this thing. So I'm just going to, so first things first on the realist, we're going to say update status, right? Statues. All right, so if I come in here now and I get my inspector open, I'm going to make this, oh, where'd that go? Oh, I know where it went. I hit it. There it is. We should, and oh my God, oh, load, sweet load. So now if I click on this, boom, we're going to update the status. Nice and easy, right? So what we need to do then is I can just steal the code I did in here. So there's a bunch of stuff going on in here. So this is basically the gist of the logic. It's very similar logic. We're just going to be basically changing Time recipe ID added, so we don't need the user. We will need the user. We don't care about the time because there is no time. Context is boat loading. This is just, I'm going to hide this for now because this has to do with when we hit the thing. So state.assigned, we don't need that because that's going to do the thing. So all we're going to do is if it's not added, right? Let's make sure that we have added in here. And did I get rid of added? Okay. So I don't know where actually added is coming from in there. Seems a bit weird. So we're gonna get rid of this, and this is gonna be, we're just gonna add to this, and we're gonna filter away from that. So context is coming from added. So let's look in this is the other vote button. Do I have an added thing? I don't think I have an added thing at all. So we'll see. Can be added. Oh, is added. State is selected. Okay. So let's I think what I can do is just say state is selected. So I'm going to say if no state dot is selected, then we're going to run, then we're going to push it. Otherwise we're going to get rid of it. I don't think I need any of this stuff for now. For now, look, we're going to see what happens here. So hopefully this will just do this in memory. But hopefully what should happen now is if it's not selected, it'll be added. And then so if it gets added, the CTA will change from add to uncheck or whatever the hell I put in there. Otherwise, it's going to get removed. What's probably going to happen is it's going to break. Oh, look at that. It worked. Oh, that didn't work. Cannot read. Change save status. Cannot read undefined. Okay, so filter. I didn't update that. So that's what I wanted to do. So that was the problem. So now if I can remove this, I can remove this, I can save this, I can save this. It works beautifully. It's such a lovely thing. Bing bong, bing bong, bong, bang bong. But it is not actually persisting. So did I do a vote loading? Is save is I'm gonna change this to is saving status. And what this is gonna track is what's happening with the endpoint that we are about to hit. So is saving status. So we're going to change this, not there. In here, it's going to be context is saving status. So this, right? And then I think I did something else up here in the vote button, in the sort of, there we go. I'm going to add this. So in the button CTA, it's going to be is, I change this to saving status, and then if is saving status, it's going to do a thing, and then down here we're going to set this back to false. This is going to happen so fast that we probably won't even see it. Yeah, it happens so quick that we won't even see it. So in here we have to hit the endpoint. Hit the endpoint to save the user meta, right? Can I just do a, oh, this has to, I'm gonna make this an async function, async, right? And then I'm gonna say const temp equals await set timeout, set timeout. Test, and we'll set it for whatever, a second, and then we'll see what happens. Is it gonna work? I don't know. Let's just see. Let's see what happens there. Let's run this. Boom. No. What? I don't think I'm doing this right. There, whatever. No, I'm not. I just basically want to wait for that to happen. Shouldn't do anything. Shouldn't matter. But I'm not doing this right because it's not really awaiting this. I think I need a promise here to do this. Well, let's use this. Create a promise to simulate round trip to the server. Let's see what that does. Yeah, okay. Oh Lord. I think I just want that. And I'm just gonna hit reject. I think that's probably all I want right there. Await new promise, and then when that runs, it'll, I don't know. Let's see. This is all I was trying to do. This is probably gonna break, but boom, there we go. And there. So that's what we wanted to do. I just wanted to demonstrate that. So this is where vibe coding helped because I didn't really care. Okay, thanks, Bad Dude Court. Hey, yeah, no problem, Wilder Hives. Thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here. Please always call out weird stuff you see in my code because chances are it's wrong. Thanks. The IDE theme is called Shades of Purple. Yeah, the point of what I was doing there was I was demonstrating. So I have this context of saving status true and false, and I wanted to basically show what was happening in there. Actually, you know what we should do is we should disable the button when, you know what, I said we weren't going to use the disable thing. Oh no. We were going to say, I was going to say, you know what, I'll just steal it from this because it's faster, but I'm going to disable the button because when we are, oh no, sorry, that's not where that goes. I want to make sure the button is disabled when it is context.disabled. Because we don't want to click it, right? So we're gonna do so why? I'm now wondering why I had. Oh, I'm just gonna set. Okay, I'm just gonna set the context, I guess. I guess it's weird because I should have. You know what? I should because I'm setting saving status. I should be able to get is disabled. Because this is really deriving some state, right? So return state. No, what did I set that to? Sorry, I gotta get that. So context. So I just gotta return that, right? So that's gonna be is disabled. So I think now in my render I should be able to say state dot. I think it's is disabled. So I think that should change that. So now when I click this button should be disabled, I believe. We'll see. Didn't seem to get disabled. Let's check. Okay, I gotta check that again. So that wasn't really. Did I call that is disabled? I did. Oh, it has no idea about context because I need to call it like this is saving status. That's what I need to do. I have to get the context before I can return to it, right? So I think that's probably what it was. Let's check. Boop. Nope. Still didn't do it. Oh no, it is. See, it's being. I'm pointing with my finger. You can't see what I'm pointing at. Look right down here. You'll see the disabled shows up. And that's. So I shouldn't. Weird. trying to have this WordPress for my current project. I have a lot to learn since I've only dealt with older implementations of WordPress. Yeah, I mean, you can still do a lot with headless and older implementations of WordPress. The thing is, I mean, headless is really, you're going to be talking to the APIs, right? You're going to be talking to the REST API. A lot of what I'm doing here, you may not need to do. I mean, that depends. If you're trying to pull in blocks and stuff like that, then that's a little bit different. But yeah, you can still do a whole ton with sort of classic WordPress, even if you're not using the block editor. Okay, so this should be that. Okay, all right. So now we need to do this endpoint. So what I did in the vote button was I had this endpoint that was so I created an endpoint specifically for this. And I wonder, is there like a users? Let's look. I don't know. Press REST API. The handbook is here. I want to look at the reference. The users. First name. So that. Data user. Meta. Okay, so I can hit this, right? Interesting. So I should be able just to hit it directly, right? So I should be able to say, what is this? Update a user. I should hit the users with an ID. Okay, and then I should be able to pass meta to it. So I can probably just hit this directly without needing to write my own doodad here. So I'm gonna just grab this whole try catch. I'm gonna just put that in here because this is just the testing code that I didn't want to see. Okay, so this is going to be API fetch is going to be should be WP v2 users, and then we're going to need the user ID. So I'm going to do this. No, come on now. And I'm just going to replace this with my user ID. So that should hit the user ID. This is a post, is it not? It is post. Right? And then, so the data is going to be, it'll be meta, right? Right? So it should be able to pass meta. Right? No. What does that look like? Meta field, JSON type data object. Okay, so it'll be data, it'll be meta, it'll be an object like this. And then I should be able to do that. And then what is my what did I call that? It's recipes, right? So I should be able to do recipes, and then this should be, I guess, an array. So let's go state.user recipes. I don't think I'm using that for anything. So this is, I'm just gonna see what this does. So hopefully, no, vote loading. Okay, I don't need this. This is gonna be firing afterwards anyway. So this should hit the user's endpoint with the user ID, which I have available somewhere. I guess it's in context, right? No, sorry, it'd be in the user is from context. So I need to pull that from context if I'm going to use it. So I need to pull user. Okay, so let's see what that does. This could break everything. There's a 84% chance this is going to break the whole site. Okay, so let's see. So we've got these three are available. Console, clear that. Let's do this. Boom. API fetch is not defined. Well, that will do that every single time And I know why it's doing that, because in the Interactivity API, I'll explain why this is happening. The Interactivity API needs to access, because it uses modules, JavaScript modules, ES modules, instead of we have to access the other packages that don't support modules yet via the WordPress global. So that's what this is doing. So that's accessing that. The other part is that we have to make sure that that's actually enqueued. So we're going to make sure that it gets enqueued by calling the enqueue function from within our block, our render block, because then it means when this renders on the page, it'll be enqueued and it'll be available to us. It won't get enqueued like multiple times. It's the enqueue script function is smart enough to only do it once. But so this should fix this error now. So if I do that, holy crap, no errors. Let's look at network. Let's look at this. So what happened here? So the response. So the payload, meta, recipes, 37 and 38. It changed it. Okay. So now, let's refresh it. Oh, I know why. Do I know why? Do I know why? Do I know why that's happening? I don't know why that's happening. Save recipe. Okay. So it's not actually writing. And okay, so why is it not writing? Current user ID. Let's see. It's weird because it didn't fire an error. It did nothing. It just looked like it worked. And that, why is my Xdebug not working? It doesn't like it. For whatever reason, it does not like it. All right. Well, it doesn't want to. None of my breakpoints are firing. That's weird. Okay, so let's go like this. Let's do this the old-fashioned way. Bar dump. We're gonna go recipes, and I'm gonna go to the end here, and I'm gonna refresh this, and all the world should end. So I still got 3. This is what I like to call the Lord's debugger. I don't know why. I just think it's a silly thing to say. Okay, so my debugging isn't working. It works in other places though, which is very strange. Okay, so the user meta from the current ID is recipes. It's got those 3. And so we know that it's, oh wait. Hey friends, wanna know why? I know exactly why. I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why right now. In my functions file, I got some code that I was using to test. So what was happening was I think I was changing it, and then when I was refreshing the page to see if it worked, this code was running and it was resetting it back to those values. That's what I think was happening. So let's refresh this now. And let's remove this recipe. Oh, let's just remove that recipe. So now I hope if I refresh this, it stays removed. It does. No. No, that wasn't it. So those are still there. So okay, well let's where am I here? Let's look at what's happening in the network, because I should be hitting that. I should be getting this. I got a 200 response. I just wonder if maybe I'm just not calling this correctly. So what's the response? Meta, persisted preferences. Okay, huh? Well, that's weird. Let's look at my call. Because it's certainly hitting something. User ID. Wait, is it hitting? It should be. What's the payload? What's the users 1? That looks right. Open a new tab. Let's see. So there's no meta. What? Okay. Let's. Okay. Weird. Okay. So where did I register the user meta? Oh, I don't think I am registered. I don't think I registered the user meta. REST API. I think I know what the problem is. I don't think it's aware of it. Let me. Okay, so is there a register user? Okay, hold on. I think what's happening is it's okay. So register, WordPress, user meta, REST API. Is that something I have to do? I think this is the problem. I think I need to do that. I think that's my issue. Let me just double check this. So I think what I have to do is this is going to be recipes. Because that makes sense. Recipes. And it needs to go away. Format. I just format this. Okay, so it's going to be an array. It's your own rest single true. Okay, cool. All right. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. Because it's not even showing up in there. Let's refresh this again. Move recipe. Let's see what the response was here. Oh, maybe I. Oh, what's this? Doing it wrong. I'm getting a doing it wrong. What? Oh God. Dealing with razor fun. Okay, I think I have to do this a little bit differently. What is this? Oh, right. Show and rest array. Okay, I'll do it like this. God. No, there's an option. There's an array option. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So this is gonna be type. No, right? How did I? Typed an array. Okay. For that. Okay, so it's going to be type. It's a type of number. Oh my God, what am I doing? Format document. Okay, so is this going to stop yelling at me now? If I lost the page, there, I lost the page. It's not going to yell at me anymore. Ah. There we go. So that got added. Okay, now let's look. Refresh. Haha, there it is. Okay, so that was definitely the issue. So the problem was I wasn't registering this in the REST API. So I got to plunk that in somewhere else to make that work. But now my call just works, and that's wicked awesome. There's probably some things I have to fix here, but if I were to come into there, not there, where's refresh this? I should just have one in here now, and I do. Perfect. So I go back to my recipes. I add them all. Boom, boom, boom. Back in here, I should have them all. Oh, why don't I have them all? Oh, because I got rid of them. So I should have, what, 5 here now? I have 5 here. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so that's working. So I just need to clean this up a little bit. I got all the stuff going on in there. I also have to do something where I want to make sure, like, this shouldn't show up if a user's not, if the user is not logged in. That's the other thing. Like, it shouldn't show that up at all. So I need to fix that up. But I'm a little over time here in my stream. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today. This has been great. And so far, so good. I have this thing. I just need to get into, like, view my profile, and then we can see all these. Yeah, any questions or anything you saw before I go? Thanks so much. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me. But you know, yeah. And if this is your first time here, give me a wave or drop something in the chat just to say hey, because I like to make sure I recognize those people that take time out of their day to come watch me code poorly. So that's just how it is. So, all right. Well, silence is complicitness, so I'm gonna let you all go. But thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll chat at you soon. Next week I'll be back, and maybe we'll finish this up, and that'll be great. And we can launch this thing together. All right. Thanks all. Have a great weekend.